turning. Not nice. Hey guys, welcome back to Forrest Speed Shop. So today we are working on my go-kart. It's a Murray Go Kart. I don't know what kind other than that. So that 18 horsepower engine, which you saw me just carry out of this thing, is going to go into the back of this. We're going to put a 40 series torque converter on it, which is, you know, kind of right at the limit for 18 horsepower, but I'm not sure if that'll actually make 18 horsepower. It is what it is. And then, yeah, so today I'm gonna have to move the engine mounting bracket. I'll show you that here in a second. And I'm getting some more parts, so I'm gonna be able to mount the live axle in the rear and a couple other things. So yeah, let's get to it. Alright, so first things first, I like to be a little bit cheap, which is why we're using the 40 series. A 44 series would be better for this, but those are $180 just for the driver that fits on the end of that. So what I'm actually planning on doing is having a setup where the torque converter and the driver pulley, or the driven pulley, so you have the driver and the driven. The driver is going to be run by a chain coming off of a sprocket on the engine output shaft. So right here I'll have a chain coming off of, like, say this is a sprocket, I'll have this sitting here and I'll have a chain coming off of it, and then on the axle the driver pulley is on, it'll have it'll have a sprocket right here with a chain running to and from this to basically just act like it's driving the driver off the engine. So that's my plan for the setup. For right now, I gotta move this engine mounting bracket right here. I'm gonna probably cut it off right about here, give me some good decent points, and then cut it off here too. I'm gonna move this plate over to this side right here. You can kind of see where I had the engine set where I wanted it a little bit. I have to figure out where the mounting points are in relation to that, and then we'll get to welding that on and mounting the engine onto the bracket. So let's get to it. Okay, so this is where we want the motor. Relatively, it's not 100% flat, but this is where I would like it. So I gotta mark where the where it sits, where the mounting plate on the bottom of the motor right here sits. So I'm gonna have to move this. I kind of like it where it is right here, because there's enough room between where the tires are and the pull start and stuff. But I think I also want to move it about an inch over to the side. So I'm going to mark that out on here, and then we'll get to cutting this panel off. Okay guys, so I lost all my footage of me cutting this plate off and cutting the bar right here. Really nice, thank you GoPro for doing that. But yeah, we're gonna get this thing tacked together. It's not gonna be the best tack, it's not all clean, but we're gonna get it tacked together, get it set where I think I need it, and then mount the engine to it. So let's get going. Okay, so I got the plate right here. I'm gonna have to clean up this whole bar right here. You know, sadly remove the no riders back here and operate only on turf or dirt surfaces. It makes me really sad. But we are going to, well, I'm gonna end up cleaning this up right here, welding this all the way down there and all the way down there. And then we're going to mount this plate up here. Make sure everything's square and then go right to it. Alright guys, so I've got everything welded up as you saw, and now we're going to do a test to see if this will actually hold the engine. Engine weighs about 120 pounds. I weigh roughly 200, so... Oh! Yep, this is solid, so cool. That means it's going to hold up to the engine, so... Alright, my battery's almost dead, so I'm going to get going on a couple other things while the GoPro recharges, and once it's finished recharging, I'll catch you guys up. Alright guys, so all I did off camera was just get this thing mounted up and actually bolted in there, so I'm missing one bolt right now. I gotta pull it back off. I gotta pull it off right now, because we actually just got the axle, but I gotta pull this back off and drill out that hole a little bit more, because I drilled it out in the wrong spot, but it's okay because it's slotted. Anyway, yeah, so we got the 1-inch live axle. Thank you, Go Power Sports. I know you aren't even sponsoring me, but thank you. Let me grab it right over here. I accidentally purchased the 54-inch one because I thought, for some reason, that it would be a good idea to get this so that when I was doing my setup for the torque converter, I could just chop this off, like chop off I wasn't going to use the threads anyways because the hubs I have bolts that go through them. So, but I was just going to be like, oh, you know, chop off like a section and then stick it on. And then I realized I actually have some 1-inch axles from a lawnmower rear end that will work just fine. And that was sadly already after this had shipped. So, yeah, we're going to weld these on. These are their weld-on brackets, I believe. So I'm going to throw these on underneath. The where the tire currently sits, give me a second here, where the tire currently sits right here is not actually where I'm going to have the new tires, and actually I have one of the new tires new. I'm actually getting replacement I'm actually getting replacement tires here soon, but these are the cool ag tires that I got. I don't know if you can properly see them. Yeah, so these are the cool new tires I got. They are they're off a tiller, a rototiller, like a gas-powered one, but I think they look super cool and they're going to be ridiculously fun on this go-kart. This one, even though it's got this massive chunk right here out of the bottom, still holds there, or it might. I tried to puncture it the other day to get the tire off the rim, but that's going to be an issue. But we'll get to that whenever we get the new tires. But yeah, so these are going to be mounted on here, and I want to kind of keep the stock, I guess you could call it wheel well. I want to keep that, and the problem is I can't do that with having these because they don't fit in the stock position. They're, I believe they're about 1.5 inches wider in radius. So I'm going to move it back about 1 inch or 2, wherever these end up being, and then it'll sit up just a little bit higher, but for the most part it's just going to look super cool. So yeah, I'm going to get to that, and stay tuned.
the axle on, as y'all saw, I do have to, I gotta make sure the tires, or like the hubs, don't roll off, so there's holes through the hubs that I just gotta drill through the axle. Once I do that, these things will be solidly mounted, but I'm gonna wait to do that until I get the, all the sprockets and everything set up on this. As for now, it looks pretty cool. I know the tires look crappy, and yes, they're on in the wrong direction if you happen to notice, but I have new ones coming and I'm going to swap them, not side to side, but I'm going to put the new tires on, because for some reason I like this tire being on the other side, probably because it looks nicer. And for the most part, that's everything that I plan to do today, so stay tuned for part 3 when I go ahead, or actually, stay tuned for part 5, pardon me, when I move the steering wheel, the brake pedal, and put the sprocket and the torque, or the sprockets and the torque converter on. And I'll show you guys, I think I'll have probably a part 6 for the torque converter actually, so I can show you guys more in depth of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it that way. Or I might just release the part 5 and then do an in-depth video on the part 6 later. It depends. But yeah, for now, just gotta get some cool action shots. Well, I can't get action shots, but just to get some cool shots. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Hit that notification button to see more of my content and get to see this thing run around and go fast. Other than that, y'all have a great day and stay tuned for the next one.